Be ready because it's coming. One of the greatest challenges we have is that thing of we want to serve and lead and inspire our people, serve, lead, and inspire people so they have a positive life experience in the real estate business. And it's really neat because when you look at that mantra and you look at that belief system, it's something that can carry over with the agents that we lead. It's something that can carry over with the consumer. But the mistake we can make in leadership is validating ourselves constantly by, thinking we have to give people answers. And part of that's set up in the recruiting interview. But I digress. I want to keep this really, really simple, and it's not only for this situation. It was a great question. It came up from a coaching client, and my answer was really immediate and quick. And it was, what do you do with the people that are, just constantly sucking your time? And I said, well, let's reverse the question. Anything and anywhere where we're having a challenge, we go to that good old life principle of anything that's happening outside of me, or coming to me is a result of what's inside me. So what's inside me in that situation is I'm playing helper instead of leader. See, so the question I always want to ask myself, I always want to look for, I'm having an experience. What did I do to create this? What can I do to change that? Because that's personal responsibility, which I know all of you live and operate in that space. And it's what really good leaders have to do. Because then if we operate in that space, then we're creating that experience and expectation by our footsteps with those that we lead. And so what I have to ask myself is, well, what do I need to change in my leadership to change that situation, to create this condition of the expectation that I don't have to go through a thought process. I just go to John. You see what I mean? And it's a fine line because people come to us for support and for leadership. But here's what happens. If we continue to give people the answers, then all we are is a helper. We're an answer giver. One of the things that I share with people is, again, the simplicity of okay, there's a problem. Okay, what do I need to change? So there's a problem. People that are taxing me. What do I need to change about me? Okay. But what I take a look at is what we've got to do is take a look at the most powerful thing we can do with a human being to cause them to grow is instill in them and teach them the power of thought. Because the power of thought can endure. If I grow human beings to think in situations, let them know that I'm always going to be here to support a very, very high level, but I've got to encourage them to go through a thought process instead of this unconscious default of just go ask John, just go ask John. So there's a couple things that you can do in that case. Is number one, you can give them the answer. Well, here's what I do when I just give people the answer. When I just give people the answer, I train them that, okay, I don't have to think. I can just go right to John and get the answers, all right? So number two, okay, that's my one option. So I've just created this perpetual, dizziness where I can't grow. I'm capped, right? That's a family style leader, okay? And so then the other situation is then where I can go to manipulate them through a series of questions to get them to the answer. Well, then they start to know that, okay, I just got to play the disco dance with John to get my answer. I got to play that game. Or the third one is to go back to them and allow them to have the experience. Now, don't just come out of the gates with this and don't just change your behavior because maybe, I'm not saying you have been, but maybe you've been that leader that just gives the answers and they just rely on you, and that's the validation and the experience of the relationship. We've got to work on shifting that, and I'll share with you how to do that over time. Number one, it's how you hire people and what you share with them, what they can expect from you. But what you want to do is here's how you handle that one if you haven't been that way in the past, to say, you know what, Sally, I haven't done my job as a leader. Yeah, you need to say that stuff. You really, really do. It'll bring them in. What I need to do is support you even more so in going through the power of thought, because if I can support you more in the power of thought, it's going to allow you to work through situations that require thought in certain timing where I'm not available. Know that I'm always here to back you. I'm always here to support you, but always come with, what you think you might need to do, what you think the answer is. Okay, and so let's have an agreement going forward in that, when there is a challenge, come with a solution in hand too, and let's work our way through it. And I think the really neat thing you're going to discover, Super Agent Sally, is that you probably had the answer. And if you don't, know I'm here. So just a little quick tip, and all these little things, the good old tiny hinges that swing big doors, they stack up. And they get us focused in the right spaces and not sucked into the black hole that can pull away from productivity and doing the things that are really going to impact people's lives. Because giving people the answer doesn't impact their lives. Sometimes you have to, I get it. But getting them to move through and develop their power of thought will endure forever. All right? Talk to you guys soon.